right now. Of course, Jake Paul and his business partner, Nikisa Badarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions. So Wednesday, Jake, you announced on social media that you had sent a termination letter to Tommy Fury. That fight, August 6th, MSG, that was scheduled, is no longer happening. Can you explain exactly what happened?
Yeah, basically, this is typical Tommy Fury behavior of pulling out of fights, being scared to fight, coming up with any excuse possible. About a week ago, he apparently went to the London Heathrow Airport and was denied access into the United States. And then after that, basically went radio silent. All he had to do was go to the embassy. We didn't hear from him. His team didn't hear from him. And he made no effort to try and get his visa to enter into the United States to make the fight happen. I said, I'll give you until Wednesday to figure this out, and didn't hear from him at all. There was no effort put in. I personally DM'd him saying, yo, I have people ready to get you your visa inside the embassy. I have the best lawyers. He didn't, look at my DM. And normally he looks at all of my DMs that I send him. He replies to all my stories. And so he literally went into hiding and had to send him the termination notice.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, and maybe Nikisa can chime in too. So he gets caught up at London Heathrow Airport.
My bad, I don't know what happened. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Market Monday for ESPN back
of him getting a simple.
Are we still live?
He sees me putting people down. He knows how strong, powerful I am. And quite frankly, I don't think he got denied entry into the United States.
Yeah, Jake can kind of speak to. We understand he was stopped at London Heathrow Airport, but we have no evidence of that. And Jake can speak to how he views that.
Yeah, we don't even know if that actually happened, right? You have to think he's one of UK's biggest stars. And he went to an airport and there's no pictures of him there. There's no footage of him there. There's nothing. And he was apparently there for the whole entire day trying to figure it out. Apparently, we don't even know if he actually got denied entry into the United States.
Okay, so that's kind of different than what, of course, his team has been saying. So if he didn't do that, what do you?
It says my internet is buffering. I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 minute. Let me go check and see what's going on. I have no clue what it could possibly be. We're all good over here. Everything's on. My cable's on a little bit of the fritz. All right, can you guys hear me? How we doing? I don't know what just happened to my cable in the background. Oh, no, everything's on. Are y'all messing with me? It's all good now? All right. Well, anyway, I guess we're going to have to start all over. Welcome for the next hour or so. We got some boxing to talk about. Earlier today, I covered the Derek Chisora and Kubrat Pulev final press conference. Tomorrow's the weigh-in for their fight's going to take place this Saturday, July the 9th on the Zone. On that card, you're going to have Israel Madrimov versus Michel Soro 2, Fabio Wardley versus a Kingsley eBay, and you have a Felix Cash versus a Alexander Vaughn. Meh. Or Vaughn Alexander, if I'm pronouncing it right. But, that's a card where I'm going to rate it about like a C. It's something to keep you busy. It's going to be fun. The main event is Derek Chisora versus Pulev. So somebody's probably going to get knocked out. And it's probably going to be a career match for one of those guys. Also, earlier today, I covered the Showtime. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we got different topics to talk about than the fights that are happening this weekend. So if you want to know about the fights that are happening this weekend, I did content on that earlier today. And that was Mark Magsayo, WBC 126-pound champion, who's taking on Ray Vargas in his second fight officially at 126. And that's going to headline Showtime here in the States at 9 p.m. Eastern. On the undercard, you're going to have Brandon Figueroa, who's coming off of, I don't know if he had a fight after he I don't remember if he had a fight after he lost to Stephen Fulton or not, but basically he's back fighting at 126. against Carlos Castro. And on the press conference, it looks like PBC is building Brandon Figueroa to fight the winner of Ray Vargas, Mark Magsayo. And then you got Frank Martin taking on Jackson Marinez on the undercard. So that's the fights of the weekend. I've already covered those, talked about those in multiple videos this week. I did my part, media part, covered those joints, networks, all that. You know, even if you want to see the boxing schedule, I put everything down below in the description box. So let's just get through, you know, the particulars first, and then we're going to go talk about some boxing. So I'm starting a podcast. I'm probably going to shoot. I was supposed to shoot my first episodes this week, but I'm going to release 4 at a time. But I was sick last week, so basically I'm about 6-7 days behind. But I'm going for a podcast that's different from what you normally get from the podcast that I listen to so far. And it's going to be high production quality. As you can see in my videos, I take pride in my platform being the only channel that can bring you, even though I get shit for it all the time, it's legal, but bringing you press conferences, interactive, where you get to talk and chat, or, you know, chat and be yourself, and, you know, no blocking and none of that bullshit. And also making sure we're giving you credible news, because I do send people out into the field, like we had Big J, as credentialed media. You know, thank you to all involved, Duco Events, Top Rank, Main Event. You know, we send Big J as media to Kimboso's Haney. You know, my other colleague, he's supposed to be going to Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. He was also at Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. So we slowly getting back out there into the media. Me personally, I've been saying for close to a year now, well, actually since the country and the world started opening back up and they lifted the vaccine mandates and all that crap, that I was going to start getting back out to events and getting to a fight. I don't know what fight I'm going to go to, but definitely before the end of this year, I'm going to get to an event. You know, probably, I mean, I was thinking about going to Taylor versus Serrano. And what was the other fight I was thinking about going to? I don't remember, but if I go to another fight, Tank Davis versus Rolly. But I don't know. I just don't have the same feeling about going to fights anymore, you know? It just don't really, you know, like, you know, I don't, like, for one, I got social anxiety, but going to fights don't really, you know, impress me. And I'm not one to go take pictures. My colleagues have been telling me, you know, like, you meeting all these celebrities and all these boxers, you don't take no pictures, you know, take them for your legacy, take them for your family, you know, just to have them. And it's never been me. But anyway, the first topic we're going to talk about is this right here on the screen: Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman Jr. It is official. Well, not official as far as we got a press release and tickets are on sale and whatnot, but it's looking like it's going to happen August the 6th at Madison Square Garden on Showtime pay-per-view. Now, on paper, you would think that, now we're going to go on some conspiracy theory shit here, all right? On paper, you would think that, okay, Hasim Rahman 12-1, and I got some clips we're going to play for you. 12-1 with 6 KOs, 31 years old, the son of former heavyweight champion, upset Lennox Lewis, Hasim Rahman. He competes normally at heavyweight, so this fight will be taking place at cruiserweight. I wonder how much he's going to have to cut down, because his last fight back in March, he weighed in at 225. So, yeah, you're going to drink, you know. So what's going to be, if this is the fight that's going to happen, what's going to be the weight? That's going to be something to talk about, right? What's the weight going to be? Because he's never weighed any less than 211, 213. But 224, that's something, you know, to talk about. But here, these guys have sparred before in the past. Did I pull up the clip? So apparently he's worked several camps with Jake Paul. And I'm guessing that, you know, it must be something that Jake Paul sees, kind of like Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. What does he see to where he feels he can beat this heavyweight boxer?
I know when someone's up for something. You want to talk shit to a pro athlete? Because really I come in here and knock your ass out. That's what I really do. You started all the talking. I'm going to finish it. I ain't gonna let man on the thing. Now who the beat? I just want to know now who the beat. Because I was a bitch a minute ago. What's up?
Here, take the gloves off. I'd be mad too.
I try to bring that man professional work. They got the camera going. He's about to get wrestled. I'm gonna say this one time real nice. Get that camera on my face, bro.
I don't know. So they got a little bit of a history. But anyway, let's go listen to what Jake Paul had to say about this was earlier today on ESPN. And he's still keeping the damn it, what happened to my chat? He's still keeping, I don't know what's going on with this damn thing. Let me see if I can fix it. He's still keeping options open for him to possibly fight Tommy Fury in the future. Seems as though he really wants that fight. But one thing I don't understand is why they're saying, okay, well, let me let this play. It's from ESPN earlier. We can't play the whole clip, but I can let you listen to it because that's the last thing I need is to get, you know, a damn copyright strike. So once again, if you're here, thanks for watching. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. This is going to be my streaming time, so let me explain it to you. Unless there's a big fight, I'm going to be streaming on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., Thursdays at 6 p.m., Fridays at 6 p.m., Saturdays, I'm going to be streaming during the main event of the cards. So if there's a midday card, you know, I'm going to be streaming during the main event, you know, doing some main event commentary. So, for example, on Friday, I'm going to be here at about 4:30 p.m. Eastern, somewhere between, you know, 4:30 and 5:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be streaming during the main we're going to be streaming during the main event of Kubrat, Pulev, Chisora 2. And, you know, commentary, brief, legal, fair use highlights. They're legal. What I'm doing is legal. I'll sue your ass. I'm tired of suing people. All right. And then later on in the night, we're going to be streaming during the Showtime main event, which is going to be Magsayo versus Vargas. So that's going to be on Saturday. And then it's going to be a little post-fight show. If there's a big major fight, then we'll be streaming on a post-fight show, you know, streaming during the main event. And then on Mondays, we will do a stream. And on Tuesdays, then Thursday, Friday. All right. So we're getting older now. You know, I'm 38 years old. You know, I've been covering boxing on YouTube and shit for a long time. We did a lot of amazing things. And now it's time to get like a really defined set schedule. So anyway, let's go listen to Jake Paul. And doesn't his manager look, I said this before, I don't know what movie it is, but he remind me of one of the movie villains that's like good with knives. Like he just like got the double knife holsters under his hoodie. And all these tribal tattoos and shit and scars. Maybe I watch too many movies. I have a very vivid imagination. But don't he look like one of them dudes? The manager dude.
Market Monday for ESPN back with you today with special guests. There's some news, a lot of things going on in their world right now. Of course, Jake Paul and his business partner, Nikisa Badarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions. So Wednesday, Jake, you announced on social media that you had sent a termination letter to Tommy Fury. That fight, August 6th, MSG, that was scheduled, is no longer happening. Can you explain exactly what happened?
Yeah, basically, this is typical Tommy Fury behavior of pulling out of fights, being scared to fight, coming up with any excuse possible. About a week ago, he apparently went to the London Heathrow airport and was denied access into the United States. And then after that, basically went radio silent. All he had to do was go to the embassy. We didn't hear from him. His team didn't hear from him. And he made no effort to try and get his visa to enter into the United States to make the fight happen. I said, I'll give you until Wednesday to figure this out, and didn't hear from him at all. There was no effort put in. I personally DM'd him saying, yo, I have people ready to get you your visa inside the embassy. I have the best lawyers. He didn't, look at my DM, and normally he looks at all of my DMs that I send him.
He do look Persian, don't he?
So he literally went into hiding and had to send him the termination notice.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, and maybe Nikisa can chime in too. So he gets caught up at London Heathrow Airport. Of course, he was going to be coming to the press conference that you guys have scheduled at MSG to promote the fight.
Let me just stop you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Jake can kind of speak to. We understand he was stopped at London Heathrow Airport, but we have no evidence of that. And Jake can speak to kind of how he views that.
We don't even know if that actually happened, right? You have to think he's one of UK's biggest stars, and he went to an airport and there's no pictures of him there. There's no footage of him there. There's nothing. And he was apparently there for the whole entire day trying to figure it out. Apparently, we don't even know if he actually got denied entry into the United States.
Okay, so that's kind of different.
Now let's stop right there. It's no secret that Tyson Fury has been having issues getting into the United States, and any fighter associated with the now defunct MTK Global and the MTK Global founder and former head Daniel Kinahan, the alleged crime drug Irish mobster. It's reported that it's about a list of 600 or so individuals that are linked to him, and a good significant amount are in boxing, that they've been hit with travel bans. They can't travel. And the goal, from what I've researched, and I did a whole 30-minute damn near documentary on it on the channel, no bullshit, like 2 weeks ago. Basically, they're trying to freeze all this guy's assets and freezing and stopping everyone around him from being able to make money. They're hoping that somebody's going to snitch on his whereabouts and lead to him getting arrested. So basically, guys like Tyson Fury, the biggest fighter in his former stable, you know, of MTK, can't travel. Word is reported that he tried to get into the States a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago or so, couldn't get in. Guys like Ben Davison, trainer, can't travel. Rumors are Josh Taylor, one of the reasons why he's been dropping his belts, can't travel. Mick Conlon can't travel. The father of Tommy and Tyson Fury, here, let me see if I can pull it up real quick for you, also did release something on social media a couple of weeks ago, and I did a video basically confirming, listen, he can't travel, you know? Tommy wasn't MTK, that is true. I did try to find some links to see if Tommy was MTK, but if he, like, do you not think that if he could travel that he wouldn't? I mean, honestly, you know, like, so something tells me that he really can't travel because, you know, of Tyson Fury for whatever the reason may be. Now, let me see if I can find this video that I uploaded. Hopefully it's not too far down the list where you had Peter Fury talking about it. You know, that they can't travel. But yeah, man, it's a damn shame because I did want to see the fight. But at the same time, I do look at what I've learned from Hasim Rahman Jr. that he's better than Tommy Fury. It's just that he's not the name Tommy Fury. You see what I'm saying? So they wanted that Fury name, meaning Jake Paul and his team. And he's even going to say that his manager, you know, the Persian dude, the Persian looking dude, Nikisa, whatever. I'm not saying he's Persian. Let me stop being disrespectful. But basically saying, you know, that they would double back around to fight him if they, you know, if it made sense. And that if the fight was to happen in the UK, here it is right here. This is what he said last week, a couple weeks ago.
Because all us, I'll be honest with you, at the minute.
Now listen to him. Listen to him. This is Peter Fury. This was on June the 22nd. By the way, follow me on Twitter. The links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Boom, there you go. How about that? So anyway, let me get back to, oh, damn it, hold on. I opened up something wrong. Close that out. All right, there we go. So anyway, let's go back.
Because all us, I'll be honest with you, at the minute are suspended. I'm banned for life. I can't get here at all. Tyson can't get over there because he's got a few issues at the moment, what he's trying to sort out. So Tommy has got no team, but it's got to be not in America. Because all us, I'll be honest with you, at the minute are suspended. I'm banned for life. I can't get here at all. Tyson can't get over there because he's got a few issues at the moment, what he's trying to sort out. So Tommy has got no team in America.
And that was with the father, Big John Fury, not Peter. I'm sorry if I said Peter. Big John Fury, you know, he already can't travel to the States because rumor has it, I don't know if it's been confirmed, is that he gouged somebody's eyes out. You know, savage shit. So he can't travel over here. And he already said Tyson, and this video came out, if I'm correct, this video came out and it was taken down from his social media, but it came out before Tyson Fury was stopped at the airport, or allegedly stopped at the airport. So, you know, I hear what, you know, Jake Paul is saying, but I think Jake Paul knows more than he's letting known because his manager is kind of alluding to it. So, for example, let me go back and we're going to listen to it a little bit more.
Yeah, Jake can kind of speak to. We understand he was caught, you know, stopped at London Heathrow.
Now, pay attention carefully to what he's saying. And then he almost said caught, you know, but he pretty much said it. But pay attention. You know, it's like they know that he can't travel, but they're just like, you know, selling like, oh, he's scared. He's scared. You know, like something ain't right here.
Airport, but we have no evidence of that. And Jake can speak kind of how he.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, and maybe Nikisa can chime in too. So he gets caught up at London Heathrow Airport. Of course, he was going to be coming to the press conference that you guys have scheduled at MSG to promote the fight.
Let me just stop you. Let me stop you there. Jake can kind of speak to. We understand he was caught, stopped at London Heathrow Airport, but we have no evidence of that. And Jake can speak kind of how he views that.
Like we don't even know if that actually happened, right? You have to think he's one of UK's biggest stars, and he went to an airport and there's no pictures of him there. There's no footage of him there. There's nothing. And he was apparently there for the whole entire day trying to figure it out. Apparently, we don't even know if he actually got denied entry into the United States.
Okay, so that's kind of different than what, of course, his team has been saying. So if he didn't do that, what do you think the situation is? Like if he didn't actually go to the airport and try to get into the country, if he's not being denied in, what is the issue?
The issue is his ball sack not being big enough. You know, like he doesn't have the gonads. He doesn't want the fight. He doesn't want the smoke. You know, he sees me putting people down. He knows how strong, powerful I am. And quite frankly, I don't think they're a stupid family, right? Look what they've done for themselves. And they have a lot of boxing experience, and they go back and look at my fight, and they see that right hand of God. And that's that.
So you guys are under the impression that, you know, maybe there really wasn't any kind of paperwork issue or visa issue, that he just did not want to come to the States and do the fight.
I think there definitely can be a issue of him getting a simple visa into the country, but we certainly didn't get a sense, not from Queensberry and Frank Warren. They were making all the efforts possible to help us with this situation. But we certainly didn't get a sense from Tommy or his personal representatives that they were being diligent in figuring out how to solve this problem for what would be Tommy's biggest payday, times 10 in his career.
So you pay attention to that right there. So they know that there's an issue, but basically they're mad. It's like, yo, show us that you tried everything you can possibly do to fix this. But if they're not letting Tyson Fury into the States, he ain't getting into the States. So, pay attention right there. And play that little bit back, like a little bit.
Issue or visa issue that he just did not want to come to the States and do the fight.
I think there definitely can be a issue of him getting a simple visa into the country, but we certainly didn't get a sense, not from Queensberry and Frank Warren. They were making all the efforts possible to help us with this situation. But we certainly didn't get a sense from Tommy or his personal representatives that they were being diligent in figuring out how to solve this problem for what would be Tommy's biggest payday, times 10 in his career.
He released a statement on Wednesday on social media, and he said that, if the fight moved to, I think he said neutral country, some place that he said he can get into, that he would be down to fight. Has there been any discussion about that at all?
No, I mean, there hasn't. And, of course he's going to say that to save face. In that same message, it said, I'll fight anytime, anyone, any place, except the US, and he's just a joke to me. He's a joke to the boxing community. And at this point in time, there's no reason for me to even try to put on a Tommy Fury.
You think that if he did fight over here in the States, that money would be frozen? You think that would be a possibility? I mean, I wanted to see the fight, but to be honest with you, if I'm really, really being honest, I like this fight better. Now, is it a pay-per-view fight? Hell no. The Tommy Fury fight wasn't a pay-per-view fight. But what are we paying to see? We're paying to see if Hasim Rahman can knock out Jake Paul. Now, the question that a lot of people are asking is like, okay, well, and I've been seeing it on social media, well, this guy has worked in his camp. So what assurances do we have that this motherfucker ain't gonna flop on us? And that he ain't receiving an envelope to go in there and take it easy? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorist dudes in boxing. I kind of am, but I'm kind of not. But I don't know. You know, I don't know. That's what the people are saying, and I'm just the voice of the people. I'm not saying this dude will come in the flop. I'm just saying.
I know when someone's up to something. You want to talk shit to a pro athlete? Because really, I'll come in here and knock your ass out. That's what I'll really do. You started on the talking. I'm gonna finish it. I ain't gonna let man on the thing. Grab who the beat. I just want to know now who the beat. Because I was a bitch a minute ago. What's up?
Here, take the gloves off. I'd be mad too.
I'm trying to bring that man professional work. I got the camera going. Oh, he fucked it. Wrestle. I'm gonna say this one time real nice. Get that camera on my face, bro.
Well, listen, I'm rooting for him. I'm gonna root for the boxer. I'm gonna root for the boxer. You know, listen, because listen, I do not want to see the son of a former world champion get knocked out. You know, Tyron Woodley let us down. Nate Robinson let us down. You know, Ben Askren, don't get me started on him. But this dude, he's supposed to beat Jake Paul. And from what I'm hearing from this interview here, let me go play a little bit of this. Apparently, they didn't want him to fight Hasim Rahman Jr. And also, one of Hasim Rahman's managers or promoters, I don't know if he has multiple, is saying that they haven't heard anything back.
Event.
You know, or, you know, like there's no contract or whatever.
You know, now we've
Hasim Rahman is just a straight up boxer, nowhere near the profile that these other opponents have had. What made you choose him as the opponent and on short notice?
Well, for me, I've just wanted to fight a professional boxer since knocking out Tyron Woodley. And I've been trying to do that since Tommy Fury pulled out the first time. I want to check that off the list. I want to show people that I can knock out a professional boxer. And so Hasim Rahman Jr. is a heavyweight. He's bigger than Tommy Fury, stronger than Tommy Fury. His dad was the heavyweight champion of the world. He has more amateur fights than Tommy Fury. So this is a harder fight, in my opinion. I want to challenge myself. I want to show the fans, yo, this kid is, I'm crazy. I'm literally crazy. There is no reason that I should be taking this fight. Nikisa told me, he's like, I don't think the risk is worth the reward. You know, the risk doesn't justify the reward. And my brother said the same thing to me. He's like, bro, I don't know if you should do this. Like, what if he accidentally knocks you out? Like, you just got knocked out by this kid who no one really knows about. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm crazy. I want to prove to the boxing world that I'm a real dog, which I am. And I'm going to go in there against this 12-1 kid who's bigger than Tommy Fury, faster than Tommy Fury, all of these things. And I'm going to put on the performance of a lifetime and just shut everyone up.
And just to be clear, the kid is 31 years old. The kid has real knockout power and has grown up in boxing from the time he was a baby. So what Jake is planning to do here is, in my mind, unheard of for someone at his level. We certainly looked at opponents that were 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, but Jake was adamant that he had to raise the stakes above and beyond Tommy Fury to shut up the naysayers once and for all.
Yeah, I want to ask you that.
All right, we got to move on to the next topic. So basically, for those who don't know, I see Don't Ask Me asked also Jake offered Tommy $500K. Jake Paul said also in this interview that if he would fight in the UK or anywhere, Australia or anywhere, if his guaranteed purse of $15 million was met. So even though he offered $500K, he's saying he wouldn't fight unless he got $15 million. So that right there is also an issue. I'm not taking sides, but if I'm being honest, you know, I do feel that Hasim Rahman is a better fight. You know, so let me know what you think as well. If you think that Hasim Rahman is a better fight than Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is just a name, but from what we've seen from Tommy Fury, he ain't that real, like that good. To where Hasim Rahman Jr., he's got those 6 KOs, and he's a heavyweight. Look at his weight. He fought 224, 215, 224. God, for crying out loud, whatever happened during COVID, he was 269. You know, during, you know, coming off the pandemic, people wouldn't be in the crib. So I'm looking forward to the fight. Now, on pay-per-view, it ain't no pay-per-view fight to me. You know, let's be 100% honest there. But, you know, nonetheless, I'm going to cover it. And also, you know, shout out to Hasim Rahman Jr., you know, getting a chance, because if he knocks out, you know, Jake Paul, he's going viral. You know, he's going to be, you know, this is a good chance for him, you know. Like, he's 31 years old, knock out Jake Paul, he's going to have, you know, people knocking on his door for fights. So I'm hoping he's taking this shit seriously. And I hope it's no bullshit or no shenanigans involved.